Okay, my computer's back. This last part, I'm going to have y'all go into the cause-effect organization. Now, the cause-effect organization is going to work if you've already established that there's an issue or a problem. And you're like, Amanda, isn't that persuasive? No, because you can inform, like, the problem's already there. Nobody's questioning if they, like, we don't have to do research to find out that media affects body image. It's all right there. It's already an issue, and it doesn't affect it positively. Nobody, I don't know the research that's out there that says, oh my gosh, by watching this, it makes everything great. We already know it's an issue. So this would be something for cause and effect. And if you're reading along with me on page 13, a concept or phenomena work great for cause and effect. And also, it is something that would address an issue or a problem. If you see down on paragraph 3, it says to do this. So let's look at that really quick. Or actually, oftentimes it says the cause and effect follows this pattern of organization, cause, effect, because the central idea needs to deal with issues of the problem, aka something that's going to be changing or something that has happened, or because of this thing, now all of these effects have happened. Like social media, for example, if you wanted. So what the only thing though is, again, that it has to be like, okay, we already know that it's a problem, that it's happening, because there are a lot of good positive things about social media as well. So I mean, you can take it in whatever way you want. So for example, so it says here in paragraph 3, to do this pattern effectively, you have to create a very clear connection between the two things, the causes and the effects. You have to diagnose the cause. Here are the causes. Here is the evidence that's proving that these things have been the contributing factor, that A does equal B, that there's not other multiple factors that could be contributing. And that's what we call a false cause in argumentation, where somebody's like, oh, well, I ate a cheeseburger, so I gained a pound. No, eating a cheeseburger is not going to make you gain a pound. It's like 230 calories. I don't know what else you did that day, but it's not just that. It could be something, other components as well, but that's not the cause of the pound, if that makes sense. So your job is to trace those causes and effect, and people want to see that clarity, and people don't want that false cause or that where we start to just like scapegoat something, if that makes sense at all. So the cause and effect speech is only going to have 2 main points. It's pretty simplistic. The first main point are the causes, and then the second main point are the effects. So those would be your 2 houses. So the central idea is still going to be the same. Your main points will then be the cause and effect. For example, on page 13, if you see this one, it says, to inform my audience about the problems associated with the current rise of online anti-Semitism in the United States. So this was a student of mine who did this, about talking about there's a lot of problems that are coming because online anti-Semitism is on the rise. So what are the effects of that online anti-Semitism? Let's find out. So the individual wrote the thesis as, to inform my audience about the problems associated with the current rise of online anti-Semitism in the United States, I will first describe the reasons for this rise, and then I will explain the effects of this anti-Semitism on the Jewish community. So if we were to look at our example of social media, right? So if we note that to inform my audience about the way social media affects adolescent boys' overall well-being, what? Okay, well that's a pretty easy one. I will first look at let's put this here, at and we can say cause or the reasons, or about the ways. I guess we could just actually use the ways of social media. We will first look at the components, we'll put it that way, of social media, and then I will examine how those components are, and then you can do affecting, or you could say something like impacting adolescent boys, and if you wanted to do it something like this, to inform my audience about the ways social media affects adolescent boys, I will first look at the components of social media, and then I will examine how those components are impacting adolescent boys. We'll say something like this, well-being, and we can put the well-being down here. So the central idea changed a little bit. To inform my audience about the ways social media affects adolescent boys, period. We took out the overall well-being because we're going to use that because we know that that's what the effect is. And we'll first look at the components of social media, so what those causes are, the components, right? So like the discussion page, the advertisements, the whatever. And then I will examine how those are impacting the adolescent boys' overall well-being. And so then you could talk, in that second point, you can be like, and now here are the effects, that when they do this, it has the depression. When we do this, it has something else. So hopefully these make a little bit more sense to you. The thing that I want you to do for your homework is have this idea of your topic, right? Social media effects. General purpose, always going to be to inform. Your specific purpose, narrow that focus down to inform my audience about what. And then thesis, combination of your central idea and your main points. And then the last thing I want you to write is your pattern of organization. So what's that pattern of organization? Well, remember, that's how you organize your main points. Did you do it cause-effect? Did you do it chronological? Did you do it topical? I don't know, but I look forward to you writing what you think you did. So I hope that this helps. The most important thing, if you have any questions, email me your thesis before you post it to the discussion board on Saturday at midnight. And then we can work it out before you have to post it. Because I don't want you posting something just to get the assignment done. At this point, we want to make sure that you are correct before you put it up there in order to save, well, really me a lot of time. And also, I feel like it's something that we can work out if we simply think about it. Ultimately, also, reading through pages 10 through 13 will give you some great insight. So I hope this helped you narrow down your focus, and I'll see y'all soon.